was a very proactive, dynamic, very kind man.
His favorite word is listen to me.
He's a dynamic
and a very, very dedicated person and very focused.
He's always full of ideas.
He also had a great sense of humor.
He's very humble.
He's a visionary.
Allahyarham Tan Sri JJ was a very proactive, dynamic, very kind man, very generous, and always wanting to mentor and guide those under his care. He's what you can say he's a go-getter, okay? Very proactive, and he's always, reaching out for perfection. Very hands-on in whatever he do, and somebody who was very kind, very generous, and very friendly. He's a very friendly person. We followed him to go to the US about a number of times, about 3 to 4 times. The first one was to set up the Bio IAP meeting in San Francisco, and also WCIT in Texas, and a lot of other local and events as well, such as the launch of the Angkasawan. It was MDeC was actually organizing that for MOSTI. There were funny moments at times because he's so hands-on in things. So basically he was running a lot of our, not running, but he was directing a lot of our events for us, even being a minister, and he wanted to make sure things were perfect. There was, no gaps and glitches here and there, and I believe I learned a lot from him.
Tan Sri JJ, we call him JJ all the time. He's dynamic, he's forceful. I think man with so many ideas. We usually had to sit down and listen to him talk and ideas. But the great thing is that he would actually be able to even listen. At that time probably I was just a manager, or senior exec at that time, and he would actually listen to ideas that came from us, and I thought that was a very cool thing for us with the younger generation. I guess one of the most memorable points of my interaction with him would be when we first launched the MSc Malaysia Creative Multimedia Initiative, or MCMCI. At that time, we were just gotten fresh out of the oven the Saladin animated film teaser trailer, and we wanted to showcase it to the world, right? So this was the first time at Cyberview Lodge. He made sure that everything was right. He made sure that it's an impactful event. We have to bring the players from the industry, the young ones, the older ones, the guys from Les Copa, the Upi and Ipins of the world, and give them awards, give them some sort of recognition. So I thought that this was such a boost for the creative industries, and it was really memorable because when we showed the Saladin trailer, it blew everyone away, and I think we'd have to thank him as a part of actually pushing that forward, right? And later on, the initiative called the MSc Malaysia Animation and Creative Contact Center, which is the MAC3 project, and again, very much his brainchild. So he was, in a way, sort of like that person who actually showed us this is what you need to be. You need to be dynamic. You need to be, intelligent, forceful, be able to articulate, all these ideas and really look to the future. He gave that ability for us to look at as a role model and inspire all of us. But he always called me like, tu budak sihat tu datang, anak semblek tu. So that was really funny that every time he would just refer me as this. As this budak-budak sihat lah, meaning very plump and but I thought it was just in jest. He knew who I was, it's just the way that he wanted to actually get closer to you.
So he decided to go to US, to Boston, to visit MIT and Harvard, among others. When we were there with him, he is very different from how he portrayed himself here with ministries and agencies and all that. So he was very relaxed. He was not on any official visit. Also more like someone who was very eager, very enthusiastic, very inquisitive in terms of learning how innovation can be tapped, and how we can apply innovation back home. He was very agile in his thinking, and again very business minded. And he also had that very relaxed manner in him. And what I learned most from him was he was very quick in his thinking, and in the manner which he could switch from one topic to the other, and then not losing focus on what at the end of the day we had to achieve, you know.
I remember the late Tan Sri JJ as someone who is very energetic, full energy, always on the move. And even despite that, he has attention for details as well. He will always make sure that things are taken care of, people are looked after, and that he will always come up with something you never thought about, and he will ask you to try on, and always work on something new that you perhaps never thought about. I will remember him as someone with all these attributes. Yeah, I think the most memorable one was the IEP in Penang, and he was with us until the very last moment. I mean, during that time when you were working, you feel like, it's so late, tomorrow morning is a meeting, maybe we should just take a rest and then agree with that. But he will say that no, you should enhance it further to make sure that it's perfect. Yeah. What I can learn from him is to always push the limit. That means do not just strive for what is possible, but also the impossible. To try and push for the impossible is something that makes you a better person.
I was asked by my former CEO, Dr. Arif Nun, to accompany him as a special officer to Australia. And when I heard about it, I was a bit scared, and I asked my colleagues, as everyone knew JJ as a tiger at that time, and he was very strict, and his expectations was very high. Eventually, when I went with the trip with him, back in 2005, I realized that he wasn't all that after all. I find him a very professional person, and a person who was very kind to the people that surrounds him. He always could rely upon MDeC. He liked MDeC actually. MDeC was then part of the MDeC, and if there's any engagement, any big events that MDeC was involved, he made sure MDeC was involved. And as a whole, I would find him as a person who is very brave and bold that I've ever met in this life. I'm deeply sad by his loss, and may his soul rest in peace.
I worked with him in two different areas. First, him as the Minister of MDeC at that time. As a minister, he's very energetic, full of ideas, and is a person with a vision, a big vision. I'm also from Rompin, so he is also my Wakil Rakyat. As a Wakil Rakyat pula, he's very humble, he's generous, and he's very helpful to the people of Rompin. What I remember him most is he will call me as Budak Rompin. I think that is his way of remembering a person. He's a person that taught me that nothing is impossible as long as you believe in your idea.
Not enough words to describe him. Makes things happen. Doesn't just talk about it. He's also someone who, if you don't understand what his bigger picture is, you may find the things that he's doing could be quite confusing. I'm one of the few fortunate guys to have lots of opportunities to be around him, and therefore I could also appreciate and understand what his intents. His attention to detail is simply amazing. In the early days with MDeC, he used to micromanage and really recce to the detail now. But after a while, after 2 or 3 sessions with us, because we know how to meet his benchmark and expectation, he left us alone. So from that day onwards, he has complete trust in us delivering to his expectation and beyond. He leaves us alone. It's always about making a significant impact. It's all about impact and making the difference. It's really about national. It's not about being petty about little things and okay. It's really about national impact.